Welcome back to Iron Archery Outdoors, guys. So I'm doing a re-video of my last video. So there's some club complaints on it, whatever. I'm just gonna redo one, and I think I left a few things out last time anyway. So making making a new one was a big deal. But going back to the target I built, I've been seeing numerous targets being built this way, and I kind of had a good idea. And I've always wanted to build a long-range target, something bigger, something, obviously you don't want to be shooting at a tiny target at a long, long ways. I mean, it's fun, but when you're just out in the yard shooting, whatever, it's nice to have a big target, okay? And obviously the big targets are expensive, okay? You look at the Bulldog targets, you look at the big 48 by 48 inch block targets, stuff like that. I mean, you're looking at $800 plus, $800 to $1,200. And there's some deals you can get on other foams, stuff like that, a better foam than what I used. The foam like preferred for building these things are L200 EVA foam. They actually were, you get it as like a mass product. You can get it in Michigan, which from here is about 8 hours. But you can get a pallet for like $460. So if you're in Michigan, that's where you should be going to get that stuff, L200 EVA foam. I don't remember the name of the place off the top of my head, or where the town is, but all I know is the shipping prices were a little bit higher right now, and I emailed them about it, and it was like $700 some to ship it to Wisconsin. So it was like $250 more to ship it than it was to buy it. So that was a no-go for me. But anyway, going back into this. So what I built was a big target. A big target. And what I used is these right here. The anti-fatigue foam mat set. Okay, these are the puzzle pieces. Everybody keeps asking about this. It is the puzzle piece sets you can get at Harbor Freight. Okay, you can see the trims on there. There's four 2x2x2 sections. Okay, there's 4 of them. So what I ended up doing was I took one half, folded it over the other half, then I cut that in half, giving me 4 layers. And that come out to about 11 and a half inches thick, not counting the outside groove of the puzzle piece, if you know what I mean. So this piece right here, it's 11 and a half inches from the face to here, not to here, okay? So my whole face is a nice straight edge like this. Okay, but going into the build itself, okay, I bought 30 packs of this. They were at full price. They were, I got a couple on sale, but basically about $300 in foam. 2x4 wise, how I built mine 20 inches off the ground. That way it's out of the snow or the mud, rain, all that stuff like that, whatever. That way the target's not in the dirt, basically. You can put it on the dirt, whatever, it's fine, because these are supposedly weatherproof or waterproof, whatever. But yeah, it says on the thing waterproof right here. Okay. It says resilient neoprene rubber is waterproof, easy to clean. Okay, and these are 1/2 inch thick sections. Okay, so where did I end up doing as far, what was I just talking about? Oh yeah, so I built the stand up. I built the stand bigger than the target itself, and I left the outskirts of these puzzle pieces on, just for whatever. You can take them off if you want. I just left them on. I didn't see no reason to take them off, whatever. So I built the stand a little bigger, therefore I had a way to secure the outsides. I originally started with all thread, but I'm going to go over here and I'll explain why. Okay, so here's the foam, okay, right here, and my tape measure. This is one thing people were complaining about, that measurements-wise. Okay, get this thing out. So from my base to my top is we'll say 51 inches. okay? And from side to side, I'm trying to measure the same pieces because they're kind of staggered a little bit. To that side, it's about 49.5, okay? So let's say 50 by 50. So what I did was I built my base. That's 5/8 plywood, just some stuff I had. Then I put a 2x4 on the front and the back. I made my base, I just made it 23 inches wide. Don't know why I made it 23 inches wide, but that's just what I did. Partially because I wanted it. Actually, going back to that. I made it 23 inches wide because the 2x4s I had, I didn't have enough to go 24 wide and have my base wide enough this way with the boards I had. So I had to shorten dimensions a little bit. Then I had 5/8 plywood sitting around, so that's what I used for there. Okay. Then on the top, I originally started with two 2x12s. Okay, you probably can hear a lot of things. Well, that's more than enough to hold it. Okay, yes, but when I was wrenching it down, I was bowing these pretty good when I had the all thread in here. So if you know anything about wood, when wood is under load and it's bending, it's only going to keep bending over time. And I'm OCD and I don't like that. So I put 3x3 angles on the top. That way it's not going to bend anymore at all. So I originally had all thread through here. Why did I take the all thread off? I took it off partially because it's time consuming to put it apart and take it back apart. Second of all, it's kind of annoying trying to put this top on because obviously you can make this top different however you want to do it. But this top is not that light. it's fairly stout because this top I made it 58 inches long. That way I had enough overhang for my, well, originally I had threaded rod, but now for the eyelets. But enough overhang so I wasn't pulling right out at the end of the board and end up splitting the board off. Okay? But I got enough overhang for strength-wise. And the lag bolts, or these eyelet, I ran through the angle, so all the pressure is pulling on the angle, obviously. And going back to that, when I started compressing it, the ratchet straps, in my opinion, are the way to go. It's way faster than using all thread. And honestly, you can get it just as tight. Unless you basically weld a nut on top of your all thread and wrench it down with an impact. It's a little different. But same goes that. You still got to take the rods out, take the top out, yada, yada, yada. And my rods were like 5.5 feet long. So you had to take them all the way out. Whatever. This is just way easier. One other thing I'm going to add to it, though, is another eyelet here and another eyelet in the bottom. Why? So then I can just take a come-along, hook to the eyelet, take the tension off these, loosen these up, then I can gradually let the pressure off. Otherwise, if you just pop the ratchet straps, it goes boom, and it get kind of sketchy. Okay? So that's a future thing I don't need to know. So this is 30 packs of the anti-fatigue foam mat sets. Okay? And basically, I compressed these tight enough that I actually broke a ratchet strap in the process, a brand new one. These tabs right here on each side that hold on the gear, I actually bent both of them. So I put my heavier duty ones on it. So use good ratchet straps or some nice heavy duty ones to begin with. That being said, the side, like I said before, is 11.5 inches wide. Okay, all said and done, I have less than 300, we'll say $350. Now, if you were to go buy everything to put it together, I'm going to say your more factory, well, even your steel, depending on what you get the steel for, I got these for free. And obviously how big you're going to make it, but I'm going to say, even on high-end prices, I'm going to say $500 at the high end. Okay, that's what the dimensions I have. My base is 50. Let me do my tape measure, okay? My base itself is 56 by 23. Okay, but I put the legs on the outside. That way I can open the stance a little bit. Open the stance up a little bit so it's not so tippy. I don't want my base to tip over. Okay. So going back to that, is people are wondering, well, how does it stop arrows? So I'm going to show you. I'm going to shoot it with my bow, obviously. Okay. We're shooting in the center right there. I'm going to shoot it with my arrow that I use for paper tuning, which this arrow, as it sits, is probably right about 385 grain, 390 grain, somewhere in there. And it's on an 82-pound Elite Envision. Okay? So 390 grain, 82 pounds at, we're going to say 10 feet. Okay, mind you, I'm not shooting at this thing this close. I have other targets to do this with. Okay? This is basically going to be my target is, say, 80 plus. Or, obviously farther. But, okay. So, we're going to show you. Obviously, it stopped the arrow. How much went through? Ooh, grab my tape measure so I don't get people arguing how far it sticks out. So from the inside insert, 4 inches. From the inside. 4 inches. Okay, people are like, wow, somebody's going to argue it. Whatever. Do I care? No. It's a $400, essentially a 50 by 50 bunker target that I made. That's really not that heavy. And 83 pounds of kinetic energy at 10 feet is only pushing an arrow through it 4 inches. That arrow probably not even going to poke out of that target at 80 yards. So, if that helps some of the stuff out, as far as information, stuff like that, dimensions on stuff, hope it answered questions. And obviously the price value, stuff like that. An arrow being shot in it. Oh, one other thing. It's not it's not that hard to pull the arrow out. Okay. I put my foot up there because I'm holding my phone with the other one. Okay. It's no harder if you've shot the layered foam targets like other targets, like using the L200 foam. It's no harder. Okay. That's obviously one-handed. Okay. So, hope that helps a little bit from the previous video. If you did see the previous video, my apologies for things that, whatever, other people are complaining about. But here's the upgraded video of this. So, I hope it answers questions. And I hope it clarifies certain things as far as dimensions, prices, how I built it, vice versa. Actually, I'm going to tip on one thing. When you're cranking this thing down, you can get these really tight. I originally had one 2x4 on the front and the back. I was actually starting to crack the front 2x4, so I put two 2x4s here. So if you're going to do something, do one of this size, because the bigger it is, the more you're going to have to tighten it down. For surely put two 2x4s in here, inside. Okay, like this. See, here's actually where it started to crack. So, run two 2x4s, or if you're slightly smarter, plan ahead a little bit, get some oak 4x4s. That would be super ideal. Or, my last case scenario, what I should have probably done right from the beginning, or if you have access to steel, take your angle iron and put a piece on the front and back underneath the foam on the bottom as well. That way all your load is on your angle iron. and you'll never have an issue with the base cracking. I'm going to see how it goes over time as far as that. I think it'll probably be fine. But if I do run into issue, that is my go-to. Put angle iron on the bottom, call it done. That'll be basically all problem solved. But as of now, it's holding up good. So that clarifies some stuff on that. Then, hope that helps. Excuse me. As far as broadhead-wise, I don't know. I haven't shot a broadhead into it. I don't really plan to either, because I like to use my Morel target for that. They pull out super nice out of that. And yeah, so there it is. Hope that helps you guys out a little bit. Sorry for some of the scattered information a little bit as I kind of thought of other things. But yeah, that is essentially the $400 bunker, 50 by 50, elevated a little bit out of the weather. And I wanted it off the ground too. That way you're not naturally shooting down at it. That way you can shoot as an actual flat plane, vertical plane to it, or horizontal plane. So, yeah. Hope that helps. If you got any questions, feel free to comment below, whatever. So, till then, turkey guns around the corner. So, see you guys next time.